on, GC fans, you just want a map.
There we go. The thing is that it's not that there's no GC Busan fans here. It's just it's not quite. It's such a new team that's found such new success. There's not necessarily someone who's designated fan cheer.
Yeah, we don't know who the leader is.
And in the past, especially back in the Kespa days, Pro League, and even LCK, like you have a fan cheerer who's very much designated early on, but like usually nowadays a lot more fans are a little more conservative. So it's tough to raise your hand and be like, okay, I'm the person who's going to say this in a new fan base. So that's kind of why that ends up being that way. At least, from my experience in Korean esports.
Someone's got to take the lead, take the responsibility. We're still going to be seeing the Widowmaker here on both sides. So Edison and Bazzi yet again going to be duking it out. Adora over onto the Pharah.
Well, Bazzi trying to find an angle here. No surprises on the attack. Adoris will be playing the Pharah, a little bit more surprising, but it ends up countering Ritz's Zarya and the Reinhardt comp very well. They have only Edison to hit the Pharah, and Pharah is in a lot of ways the counter to the Widow in this meta, it feels, because if you end up getting caught by a few Pharah rockets, you just die to the dive. Evo will kill you.
Yeah, well, speaking of getting killed, Revenge is going to take down Alpha Yi. Down to about half HP himself as Edison goes really right up into the face of this Pharah.
He's like, what'd you say about that counter?
The ballsy move by him. Already the swap off the Brigitte coming through as Alpha Yi jumps over onto the Tracer. Not going to help them too much in taking down this Pharah yet again. Going to be a bit of an issue here as Adora takes down Ion, forces the res, one tick going over to 7. Adora coming in from above. Edison, one more shot with the rocket would take him down, and Bazzi's actually going to find the hit. Now Alpha Yi just rejoining the squad, will get taken out. Adora finds the kill, nearly has the barrage ready to go, and honestly could just try to hold that maybe for a snowball on the beat if they can get this completion. The GC boost on wave are getting chewed apart. Fielder manages to kill the Pharah off, but he pays for that one with his own life. Free runs him down, and now it's going to be 6.5 minutes on the clock for 7.
This is a rare circumstance in Overwatch, but in this meta, it does happen occasionally where you just get blind countered compositionally. It happened a lot on Numbani specifically in the past, but you end up running the Pharah here that no one expected. We were talking about Adora, what he's good at, what he's famous for, and Pharah was just not on the cards on attack on Hanamura. GC Busan Wave didn't expect it. They expected more of the line of thinking we were talking about. They got countered. And now they've got a rough time make. It happens. It does happen. And now it's, they've got to switch it up here. Ritz going obviously back to the D.Va.
Evo sitting up top here on the awning. Now pushing forward, looking to force Edison out of the fight. Not going to be able to get the kill. But still can harass him. And actually, Bazzi follows up, gets that headshot. Now under pressure. Is still trying to get the shots in. There's a bubble in front of your face, Bazzi. Peel back. Forces Ion out of the fight. Daydream's going to get sniped by Revenge. And Fielder's going to be dead. No supports alive for GC Busan, and now it's just going to be the one tank, as Ritz is the only one left in the fight with the Discord Orbs. Just goes ahead and takes him out very swiftly. Alpha Yi popped by the Pulse Bomb, and 7 are looking for a really fast cap onto point B. 5 minutes, 20 seconds here, so on the clock. A swap onto the Doomfist by Edison, a bit of a desperation play, and he's already going to get taken out, as does Daydream. And that's just going to be it. 5:14, the finishing time. 7 come in with a plan here on Hanamura, and they just stomp out GC Busan.
We talked about how Widow is not always as effective on this map as other maps because it's tough to get on the high ground, but Bazzi did, and he had no fear of dealing with Ion on the Winston because he knew they had the numbers advantage. They were winning the fight. He had line of sight on high ground, which helped them win that. And then Ion he had no fear. The rest of his team has already peeled back, turning on to Ion. So Ion had the bubble, but he was never going to be killed. He was never going to be worried, and every time we saw Revenge discord the correct target, and that was mostly the Winston, then into later on the Doomfist that spawned. So there was no way Edison could build any shields, have any sustaining power there on the defense. And it's one of those things where you end up crushing point A, you get an ult advantage, you push to B, you get the high ground there with the Widow. It's why a lot of teams, right, that everyone's heard like, 2CP lol, and a lot of pro gamers don't like the map type because it doesn't suit their playstyle. It can be frustrating when the snowball comes through. When as the defender, you don't have a lot of time to change up your composition. You don't have any way to deal with the Pharah. You didn't expect it. You can't just be like, hold on, let's pause and switch up our comp. That's not fair. We don't have any way of dealing with the Pharah. You have to adapt, deal with it on the fly. They failed. And, it was a really good play by Adora. Then they come to the second point. He makes the Tracer switch, gets the Pulse Bomb sticks, and things snowball like that.
And that's the thing that I was actually the most surprised and impressed about was the swap off of the Pharah.
Yeah, he instantly swapped it.
And he had the barrage ready to go, but says, you know what, like, it's just not the way that I want to play this point B. It's not going to be the strategy that we're working with as a team. Goes in for the Tracer, and it's perfectly effective.
A Tracer can help you control the high ground better than a Pharah can, because you can help peel with the Tracer against anyone who's trying to dive your Widow who gets on the high ground. So I really like the choice a lot. He could have, and many players would have, held the barrage to try to get some kills on that point B attack with the ult advantage he has, but they had a clear plan, and they executed it well. Here's the drop down.
Bazzi looking for the shot there. On the fielder, not going to be able to find the pick. Drops over onto the side, looking for the flank. As Alpha Yi pushing forward alongside Ritz to try to get rid of Bazzi. It's going to be dangerously low. First tick nearly coming through. Now going to be found here for the side of GC Busan Wave. Do we just see two very swift caps coming in onto A for both of these squads? Now it's seeming like that might be the case. Bazzi's able to 3-1 back as Essen goes down, but Revenge was already picked off. Mika under fire, Ion finding the pop there onto Free. Mika dead. No supports available here for the side of 7 on this defense, and that might just be it. Adora's trying to get out of there. Dashes just away from that hook. And now 7-0-9 for GC Busan Wave.
We saw this exact comp on Blizzard World Attack from GC Busan Wave. We also saw it at the end of Route 66, which led them into, of course, that 5th game against MVP Space. As a composition, they feel very comfortable with putting Alpha E on the Roadhog. He flanks, he's very sustainable. You have the AoE heals coming through from the Lucio and the Moira. And now they have that ult advantage. Adora's going to make the swap to the Pharah. Very interesting here. It's going to be on Edison to deal with the Pharah. Let's see if he can make it happen. They've got the ult advantage, as you can see, leading with Moira. Freeze D-Mag,
yeah, the
looking bad.
Going through, Free taking out. Ion going to go down, however, so not enough to keep that Reinhardt sustained, but Essen comes up with the kill onto Ammo, and the self-destruct finds Adora. Mika going to go down as well, and the only thing they've been able to find is going to be Mika so far on the side of GC Busan Wave. We're still staying alive. Bazzi is still taking pot shots, but he's just not really killing anybody. They're still in onto the point. This might just be a faster cap. No one tags in. Finally get it the last second. The whole haul coming through to push them away. It works out. 6:16 on the clock. A harder snowball coming through for GC Busan Wave.
2CP is a map type where we used to see a lot of ties. It used to be very difficult to take point B.
It used to be a nightmare for us in the early days of Apex.
But now there's so many different counters and compositions and different styles that can really be favored against other styles. Like in this case, they out-sustained, right? Which is what they did on Blizzard World. They're very familiar with this type of style, and it's one of their favorites. When you get a insta-cap on A, you always have ult advantage on B. So that's why both these teams get a massive time bank and then the double. So we're basically starting this map over as we head into our first set of extra rounds. Might not be the last. But out of all the Roadhogs we've seen, which has mostly been Alpha E, Huxal, and Kumbaba thus far in Season 2, Alpha E looks to be the most consistent. He's always there with his healer supporting him, and he has his take a breather. So he basically forced himself into the backline. He flanks. He was able to catch Mika on the Mercy on a point B attack Roadhog. Like, he was basically on the spawn. And he understands how much healing his supports are going to give him. He knows how to push the envelope as to where he can be positioned. And it's a treat to watch. We're seeing so many different styles of play in this tournament compared to the you've got to play Sombra pretty much we saw last season. It's a little bit refreshing in a lot of ways. Frustrating to play as the defender, obviously, in Assault when there's so many different comps you could run into and you can get blind countered.
Adora just going to be sticking with the Tracer, not trying to go for that Pharah yet again. He goes low, has the Mega Pack here as he wraps around the left-hand side. Comes back towards the front, though. Once he gets some damage in onto Ion, he gets chewed up quite a bit, has to leap over to the side. Fights his way out. Now Adora in onto the point. Gonna get this cap rolling through, and Freya's gonna join him. First tick nearly comes down. Busan Wave start contesting as Bazzi, relatively unhindered at the moment, but now has the Winston jumping into his face, but he's got the pocket here from the Mercy. And now it's gonna be Ion kind of isolating himself. Has to use the leap to get out yet again.
Yeah, they're gonna lose the second tick if they don't jump on it. Alpha E looks like he's gonna give it. Barely tags in with Ion. They are gonna try to contest.
Still just poking their way in, so close to getting that next tick. Now that we're in these extra rounds, everything that you can get is going to go so very far for you. Into the back, Adora looking for the stick, finds it. That's going to be Daydream taken out. Now no more reses available. Adora goes low, trying to duel it out. Takes down Fielder as well. Both healers going to be eliminated. And now 7 is going to try to roll this one into a cap. Fritz is going to get popped out. Everybody just dropping like flies. 7 will be able to get this.
GC Busan,
only 30 bonus seconds, but still 4:20 on the clock.
GC Busan ends up with a pretty good set of ultimates, though. They're going to have both support ultimates and the blade when this comes through, so because they played so conservatively and almost nobody died initially in the fight, they're not going to get that double snowball roll through as easily as they would like to. Impresight gives them a lot of information here, and that's going to be how they're going to look for the Diva.
Yeah, like the whereabouts of Fielder. He's already going to be eliminated. Alpha Yi into the back, has the Dragon Blade up. He's going to take down both of the healers here. Revenge with the dash, Mika with the slash. Edison follows up there on the Bazzi, and 7 going to be stopped here on this initial push, like you said. No real snowball to speak of, and it's going to be 5 ultimates that they're pushing into. 4 ultimates, sorry. On the side of GC Busan Wave, counting is hard. Alpha E going to swap over to the Tracer.
Really cool to see how conservatively Alpha E played the last defense because he built a blade. That was the whole idea. So, okay, we can't stop them necessarily. Let's not let them get the double cap. If we can get our own double when we have the attack, that's going to be ideal. So Edison's already got this Dragon Strike. 7 only used the Impresight, so they've got a good set of ultimates too. I mean, this is anyone's push to take. Defender's advantage to GC Busan. They're just going to toss this in.
Yeah, throw that one down straight down the hallway, but everybody makes it out safely. Can build up for another one very swiftly here. Adora throwing down that pulse bomb, not going to find the pick. Forces out the Transcendence here from Fielder. Adora over onto the side though. He does not have that recall, has to try to stay alive. Alpha E going to drop low, picks up the Mega Pack. Dora still looking to trade him. Recall going to be burned by him. Now dashing in, looking to rejoin the rest of his squad as Revenge had already used that Transcendence. Self-destruct goes in. Free trying to make it back into the mech. Gets the pop, not going to find the kill. He's on back Daydream, however, and they get that elimination. The first hit getting ready to roll through. No one on the point at the moment here because they just spill forward, pushing over towards the spawn room. Just start ripping apart the members of GC Busan Wave. Britt's going to get popped out of that mech. A swap over onto the Ana here for Daydream, looking for that heal deny to come through. Help these extended fights, but one after the other as they start respawning, the members are going to be going down. Dragon Strike in, second tick on the way for the side of 7. Pulse Bomb out from Medora, not going to find the pick, but zones them back for the moment as they get closer and closer to finishing this cap. Stun in from Daydream, another swap, this time onto the Brigitte, but Edison's going to fall. Daydream's still dangerously low, can't get healed up fast enough by Fielder, and he will go down. Ion pushing forward, Ritz joining back in, the tanks trying to stay alive, but Adora is just hounding them down, trying to build up for these Pulse Bombs. The tanks managed to go ahead and dismantle the tank line of 7. That might just be the stop of the push, but they still get so close, 85.3%, and they actually forced that self-destruct out of Ritz.
GC Busan wasn't necessarily even playing to hold, they were playing to buy time, and they ran so much sustain, they even had Alpha E switch to the Reinhardt. They played because they know they have the better time make. They wanted to just burn 7's time make down so low. They know they're very likely to get a double cap, but they ended up playing so safely and so conservatively that 7 ended up getting a little bit confused, not even knowing what they wanted to do, who they wanted to target, because GC Busan was just running around buying time essentially. They ended up losing the sustain war.
Oh! Didn't have the camera on that one, but Adora comes up with a big meaty pulse bomb. Daydream and Edison both going to be eliminated. Now 7 is straight back in onto the point, but Ion gets rid of Bazzi. Ritz going to be popped out of the mech. Fielder getting jumped on, tries to go back into the spawn room, goes dangerously low, but the move back comes through from Daydream, keeping him alive. Transcendence in onto the point from Revenge, trying to mitigate the damage coming out of that Dragon Strike. No picks to be found. Ion goes low and he goes down. Bazzi able to cut him out of the sky. And that is going to be the cap coming through with 57 seconds remaining. 7 able to complete the map, but it's still 6 minutes, 16 seconds available for GC Busan on this push. We might just keep those overtime rounds rolling through.
I think GC Busan gets a huge win here. We're going to be much happier than 7 as the completion comes through. They won the longer fight there, which looked lost by the hero swaps that came through. Revenge switching to the Ana, the Reinhardt switch we saw from Alpha E, which is super cool because he's looking for pins. He's looking for pins and he's looking for sustained damage. The barrier in the corner as well. Anything they can do to buy time. I mean, they practically pulled the Mei out. I mean, they didn't, but like that was the only thing that was missing, right?
I actually would have maybe liked the Reinhardt staying and then see Daydream go back over onto the Ana and try to get the nano boost rolling through. He was close to his shatter, and the only thing that could deny a shatter on the side of 7 would have been the bubble coming out of Evo.
I think it is like there's certainly an argument for that. He was at 57% when he made the switch back, but I think they were just playing so safe, so conservative. And that was, to me, like what was super cool about that. They were playing old Lunatic High style, like let's just run around in circles and buy time, burn through the time bank, you know, and contest if we have ultimates, otherwise we are just going to last forever. And now they've got this massive time bank lead. And in their minds, with this sustain comp, which again they're running here, there's no way they don't end up with better than 57 seconds and they get the double cap. In their mind, that's the strategy, that's the idea. Mission accomplished, okay? They didn't get like the secret ending where they actually get the full hold on the second point, but this is a mission accomplished for them absolutely on point B. And now they're going to run this comp, they're going to shove their way onto the point, they're going to get an ult advantage or get the point itself on the first push. Barrier broken.
Yeah, already shutting that one down. Alpha E still has the breather that he can take here. Try to stay sustained, and everybody just pushes in onto the point. Ion going dangerously low, but a hook coming through, but the bubble is there. Great reaction from Free. He's going to be high energy, and Bazzi takes down Ion in the end. Alpha E also going to fall free, just storming through here. High energy on that Zarya. Already has the Graviton Surge ready to go, mind you. They can go ahead and couple that with the Dragon Strike that'll be up in 9% here for Bazzi. 7, that's going to be a really good defense. The first tick doesn't even go over to GC Busan Wave.
Compositionally, 7 had the right answer to what GC Busan was running. And they're going to switch it up a little bit here. They didn't get the ult charge they wanted. That was about as good as it gets for 7 on the defense. I mean, that couldn't have been more efficient. And as you say, they have the ult combo here. They're going to have a rally. If the rally goes off, GC Busan's plan of just by time we get the double cap is going to be ruined.
That's going to be the grab.
Oh, on the wall.
Right in through, and that's going to be a triple kill. Spilling through for Bazzi. Takes them down. Beautifully done. That's a problem with this map. You don't have that many options to go over the wall and get in. It's just the one choke. So when you have that Graviton Surge,
here's the rally.
It'll just rip you to bits.
Yeah, and the rally's up now. So, like, everything that GC Busan planned, their ult efficiency, it goes out the window. They already kind of threw it away when they switched the Alpha E and Edison onto the Hanzo and Pharah here. Now they're just going to try to force their way through all this armor. It's not going to be easy. You should have just 1 second have the Dragon Strike, but where do they place it? They don't have anything to pair it with. It's going to be rough, fighting up an uphill battle.
Yeah, going to try to throw this one straight down the lane, but no one really from 7 on that side of the map anyway. The Shatter comes down from Ion, but he is going to be the first one falling. Now they follow up the kill in onto Fielder as Evo uses his own Shatter. And they are holding this one quite firmly. Already going to be over 2 minutes drained away from the clock. Free doesn't have that high of energy, so it's trying to push around the corner to take down Ritz. Not really going to happen. But for their troubles, all that GC gets is a pick on the Bazzi.
This is where we wondered, was the predictability of how GC Busan plays with the Roadhog, kind of sustained comp. Like, does that get countered? Does that get figured out? And I think 7 brings the right answer to the comp. It's more of a hybrid now with the Pharah, but still, this is not the timing they were looking for.
Ritz trying to get that Graviton Surge. Free is right on his heels at 72%. Bazzi nearly with the Dragon Strike. Might have that come up pretty soon. Ion, though, opening things up, finds a pick in onto Mika. Now knows Res available and Free. Going dangerously low. Evo tries to go in for the charge. The Graviton Surge is going to come through. He pops up the barrier, but the barrage comes in from behind, and Alpha Yi is going to rip them to pieces. Bazzi manages to answer that kill as 7 just tries to delay as long as they possibly can. Revenge comes up with 1, but goes down as Ion finds that hit. Graviton in from Free. They throw in the Dragon Strike. Ion cutting to the side, tries to stay alive, but Free's going to pick it up, and they manage to hold him off right before they can get that cap. That was nearly had it. There's still 3 minutes on the clock, however. They have the 2 ticks that they will be starting from. But 7, they're looking to try to drain them down as low as humanly possible.
I mean, now 7 has almost no tools. Down to 6% obviously on the grab. Both sides using it there. GC Busan has a Shatter, and they're going to have to make it work. Alpha E making the switch to the Doomfist. It's desperation time now.
Yeah.
They've already lost. In their minds, this is never supposed to happen, but they've just been countered. They've been outplayed.
Dragon Strike in from Edison. The Shatter coming down, but it's just not going to find anything. Adora had the shield up. The bubble is in onto Evo. He'll jump forward. Rocket Punch looking to get rid of that Brigitte, but it's not going to happen. Free manages to get rid of Edison. Bazzi building up, nearly has another Dragon Strike ready to go. The charge into the Rocket Punch, into the uppercut. Alpha E trying to get the pop there onto the Reinhardt, but has not been able to do so. Ion, his shield is dangerously low. The Shatter ready to go from Evo. We'll see if he can land it. Trying to channel that Eye of the Kaiser. Bazzi kiting back, throws in the Dragon Strike, straight down the lane, looking for the members of GC Busan Wave, and he's going to find Daydream. Ion going to go down. Evo uses that Earth Shatter, and it comes up trumps yet again. Busan held at bay. Less than 2 minutes on the clock now.
At first they were kind of countered with their composition. They've switched it up to try to match it with the Doomfist coming through. The Pharah that they were running for a little while, and they were trying to play a rock, paper, scissors game, but now that it's rock versus rock, GC Busan has the weaker rock. 7 is playing better with the same composition essentially here. Alpha E now desperately switching to a 3rd hero, the Genji. Against this comp, good luck with that one. It's not gonna be very effective, you have to imagine. They've got a Brigitte on the other side, Zarya, Reinhardt.
This is a I don't know what I'm doing anymore style. Graviton Surge is going to come through, answering, coming out from the side of 7. Transcendence is there on both sides. No one going to be going down yet. Just going to be an exchange on those ultimates.
The strike
Bazzi
totally
now,
whips.
Dragon Strike gonna be ready to go. Already takes down Ion, now no shield to block. They'll go ahead and send that one straight up the channel, but not gonna find any pickoffs here. Everyone kiting to the side. They're trying to get the res off. They managed to do so as Ion comes back into the fight. But already, it's 50% on another grab from 3. Fritz is at 38. They used him at the same exact time. You can see just how much more value he's getting. He's still at 100 energy right now.
Defender's advantage coming in.
Shatter comes down, he drops the shield, and Ion just smells Seth as Alpha Yi. Sonic Hero takes out Edison, and 7 are looking to complete this full hold here on point A in the overtime rounds. It's 40 seconds left on the clock. GC Busan wave. Another swap from Alpha Yi.
A 4th hero to the Junkrat now. He goes. Desperation, desperate times call for desperate measures, as they say. But I think this map is over. 7 is walking away with a win here. How can GC Busan make this work now? Backs against the wall. Grab surge enemy-wise available. 80 energy up for free right now. They can just walk forward and throw it on the ground.
Yeah, Bazzi's nearly got it. 15 more % for that Dragon Strike. He gets tagged up. Now 10. Waiting for it. It's going to be available. That's going to be the grab coming through. Dragon Strike rolling in. What a way to shut him down. Comes up with a double kill. Alpha Yi. Do we see a final swap in these last few seconds? I don't think so. It's going to be a team wipe. The overtime to tick down, and 7 will come up with an extended victory here on Hanamura.
What a crushing defeat. Every tool they had, the better time bank. They bought so much time on B against really unfortunate circumstances. They played the avoid style. They made the switch to the Reinhardt with Alpha Yi. They did everything right on the defense. They had total control. They were looking at the finish line, looking behind them. You know, they were that much in the lead. No one was even close. And they come in here, they get just utterly destroyed. They didn't run up against the composition they thought they'd see. They ran their comfort picks, the Roadhog, Lucio, Moira comp, the triple tank, that found them so much success in their match against MVP Space. It doesn't find them success this time on the tag. They were ready. 7 had the counter composition. Back in the Apex days, we had something called a tactical pause that would be called after moments like these. The coach comes in the booth and discusses. They don't have that. We don't have that anymore. But you can see Nick in the booth here. He's doing anything he can to keep the team motivated, because that has got to be one of the most frustrating and demoralizing losses you could ever take. It's just having every tool. You have a sustainable comp. You've won with it so much. It's a kind of comp that, given that timing, you usually just cannot lose. But they got so much outplayed by Evo and Free for the most part. I mean, Bazzi did his job well, but it was Evo and Free who just won the tank war with their experience. Better grabs. Defender's advantage obviously comes through with the grabs and the shatters, because you have the choke point they have to go towards, as you were pointing out earlier. But after they use the first combo, usually that's when you're like, okay, now you don't have it, and I have it. But that wasn't true. By the time they're ready to set up for another fight, they did have it. They were building it so consistently, and they just got outplayed. So for GC Busan, this is got to be really tough to bounce back from.
It was a lot of outplay. It was Alpha Yi not knowing what the hell was going on, trying to swap up so many times, 4 different character swaps, none of them doing anything whatsoever for him or for his team. I mean, we saw the most even fight you could ever have on that point there. Double Graviton Surge comes down. It's going to be the double Transcends on either side. It's any man's game from that point, but 7, they end up taking it because they just proved that they are the better team here today so far. You know, one more win, all that they need to close this out. It's going to be going down to Escort, GC Busan. Can they force us to another Game 5? What do we think their map choice is going to be? I mean,
they ran us into Route 66 and ran that same Roadhog for Alpha Yi with the Moira Lucio to finish out point C. That's where they mostly used it when they were facing off against MVP Space. So that's something we've already seen. But given how that last map went, where they ran that comp twice, and the second time the enemy was ready, and they had the inferior Zarya Reinhardt in most ways, sure, it was on attack. When you use it, when both teams trade ultimates like that, like you pointed out in that fight that was actually mechanically skilled on both sides, when you trade as the attacker, you already feel like you're losing, though, because the defender should always have ults faster than you. When you have a bigger time bank, they use ults, you die, you reset, then you have them and they don't, and then you're able to continue to use that time bank to shove your way through. That's why we see so many quad tank and triple tank attacks with superior time banks, even from teams that aren't known for that, like Runaway. But since they got so shut down with that composition that gave them success against MVP Space, and they did run that on Route 66, there's two schools of thought. One is to go back to what you're comfortable with, even though it was just defeated. Stick to the plan, so to speak, and go to Route 66. Another one, though, is to try to go to something like Rialto. Play still to some of your strengths, but try to do something a little bit different. Try to bring the Pharah out. Try to give Edison more opportunities on the Hanzo. Because already 7 has countered your attempted Gladiator strat. They already know how to deal with your Roadhog push. They were more efficient than you in terms of ult economy. You've got to be worried about running the same thing again because it already failed once. It's very likely to fail twice now that they're very familiar with dealing with that style.
Well, Kings Row, the loss for 7. That was GC Busan's pick. They bounced back with the Hanamura selection, and they stomped them out in the end. Despite the fact that GC had the better time bank at the start of that second assault. We'll find out what the final map is going to be, and this time it's going to be Junkertown. Not going to be seeing that Route 66 coming through. It's just going to be the one time that we've seen that map, but Junkertown going to make another revisit. Probably definitely our most popular escort map that we had from Season 1. It's been a little bit less of it this time around, but we'll pay another visit.
Junkertown gets a little bit nasty once we get inside, though. Once we get past point A, it's no longer going to be about the Widow matchup and the Genji matchup that we see so often decided by Junkrat positioning, line of sight. Once you get inside, though, it's going to be strategic depth. GC Busan does not have the experience that Team 7 has.
See what GC Busan can put together for us. Are going to be starting on the defense this time around.
That's right.
Sorry, it's 7. GC Busan going to be on the attack.
And look at this. It's the Roadhog triple tank comp, Moira Lucio. So it took us to this map to do what they did on Route 66. This is obviously going to be where you start with this, don't finish with it like we saw on Route 66, because this is the place where this is going to be the strongest. It will lose power once we get past point A, if they get past point A.
I'm not seeing the Junkrat on the defensive side, especially here. Adora just going to be opting in the Tracer once you get into the back line. Takes out that poison trap.
Very difficult to use a Tracer against this composition. We may see a switch pretty early here. In fact, flanking super hard right now to try to find the supports, as you can see.
Already though, good opening coming through. Edison's gonna fall. Bazzi comes up with a kill. Adora down here on the low ground, just spamming away. Now looking for Ion. He's gonna go dangerously low, and he'll get taken down. Doesn't have the shield raised up, and even if he did, Adora can just dash straight into melee range. Follows up the kill there on the fielder. You see that Halt headshot combo coming through from Bazzi.
That's exactly why they had so much trouble. You know, oftentimes when you're running into a comp like this with Tracer, it feels like you're shooting wooden bullets. You know, it's just not doing as much as you would like. You're scratching the surface, but the sustainability is so much there. But as you say, with the whole headshot combo, it's rough, man.
I mean, it would suck to get a series of splinters, you know, Wolf.
Sure, it would be bad.
Yeah, no, he's firing real bullets this time around. Dashes in yet again, looking for Ion. Halt coming back through, but he maintains the shield this time around.
Halt, no shield.
And now Revenge has the kill. And I'm honestly very confused. Now they're going to change things up, so this makes a little bit more sense. But I was going to say I was confused why we weren't seeing the Orisa coming through, because usually you go for the Halt hook when you're running the Roadhog on attack here.
I think it's just because they wanted to have the Reinhardt for more stability on the point itself, as well as potential shatters. And, you know, Orisa has a ton of armor, has the ability to halt, like you say, so she's more common here, but this is not the strategy that GC Busan is prepared for, not the one they've been running a lot. It's been with the Reinhardt or the Winston, but they do have the Moira ult finally now. Revenge has had his for a while.
Self-destruct in, Edison going to get picked off, where he finds yet another one. Evo, half HP here in the front lines, but going to get topped back up. Fielder has his Coalescence ready to go. He's had it for a while, but just hasn't really found an opportunity to use it. And Edison now going to be swapping off of the Hanzo onto the McCree.
Let's not forget this is a team of 6 rookies.
Yeah.
They just had a massive advance. They got crushed. Mentality-wise, they're not in the best place right now as Edison makes another hero swap here. It's rough to run into a really good defensive setup like this. 7 has played this map a million times in Season 1, like you said. They're so well versed at it.
And Bazzi's pretty good at Widowmaker.
He certainly is.
Look at the being reminded here. Yeah, he's just right into the backside. The Lucio finally spotting him out, just tagging him up a little bit, but overall, not going to be doing too much damage to him. And GC Busan Wave staring down the barrel of a potential full Halt here on point A of Junkertown. Need to change something up very rapidly. The Infrasight now coming in for Bazzi. Going to be looking for the supports.
Yeah,
take down Alpha Yi, that'd be absolutely huge.
Yeah, or if they could get Ritz to use his grab early or to use his bubble early. Oh my God, that just happened.
All right.
That straight up just happened. That's a huge win trade-wise for 7. As Adora can get back to the point real quick. And now it's going to be, they've got to, when Danger respawns, they really have to rush onto the point with a speed boost to get that grab off. They've got one shot at this, and that's it. They have to get a full wipe. A kill or two, a pick or two, that's not going to be enough. That's not going to cut it. Here it comes.
The grab's going to come down, but the Transcendence is there to answer, so everybody in that back line is going to be perfectly safe.
Shatter, follow-up.
Does come through. Now they're going to be looking for the bigger bang combo coming in. Oh, actually, it's going to be free throwing his up. My bad. Finds one pick off there as Daydream goes down. Massey and Adora did both fall, and now they find a pick off onto Epo, but it's still 7. Just drawing out the time. There's 19 seconds remaining. GC Busan, can they get this completion? Alpha Yi trying to stay alive, nearly has the rally, but he's going to have to use this like an amp up to try to just keep the team sustained, but he's just going to go down right as that rally becomes available. Daydream falling, Fielder still alive, has that coalescence ready to go, but not even going to be able to pop it to try to keep Ion in the fight. He's not close enough. Now going to be rejoining, trying to find some kills, but Revenge is popping off, comes up with the kills on the tanks, and a full hold is executed here from 7, who look to deliver us a very swift finish to this series.
Yeah, it's it was something that's been talked about for all the coaches of rookie squads that we have this season. Even squads like the Foxes, who've been a top 4 Apex team, come with so many new players. And 7 is not a long storied team. They've not been around since the Apex days. They're very much a season 1 Royal Roader potential. That's what they were. They're no longer. But what I'm trying to say is it's just 1 season advantage in terms of experience, but you can see how much that shows. I mean, Adora crushed a triple tank composition with a Tracer, just absolutely circumventing the Bazzi flanking, understanding positioning a little bit better there. The Hulk combos coming through. And GC Busan is just trying to kind of crash their heads into a brick wall with running the same comp. A Resolus, as you pointed out, which is non-meta, but it's more comfortable for them. But sometimes comfort can only get you so far. And this, in this case, is just shy of point A. I think they're feeling pretty uncomfortable now. Yeah, I think this is going to be a sad ending for the squad that had such a great start.
It's looking like it, unless they can pull off the fuller hold. But that was 7 who was able to execute on the fuller hold there on Nambani. So the odds are definitely not stacked in GC Busan Wave's favor.
Let's see what comp they want to run. Even some indecision here as they set up with 20 seconds to the point.
I think you got to go for Edison on the Widow and just pray that he can have a pop-off performance.
What a unique composition we see here. It's going to be the McCree Genji. Now, this can work really well, but only if Edison is able to get into position and there's Zorialis. So let's see if the McCree comp, it's obviously more sustained burst damage the Widow can operate on at close range. Let's see how he does. If he gets totally shut down, I mean, I think we'll have to say this is a mistake, but I'll trust their judgment for now.
I mean, already, look how far back they're playing. They're playing right on the finish.
At 4 minutes to go and you give this much free push, it feels painful. Yeah. No one's building ult charge either.
Yeah, Edison's got 7%. That's just natural build. He hasn't even taken I don't even know if he's taken a single shot that hit anybody yet. Bazzi just going to the standard flank around the side. The Hulk comes through, and they nearly get the pop out there on a Ritz's mech.
This is all they need. I mean, this is the winning trade.
It's going to be a lot of ult charge over to Daydream, but you can see Fielder. He's the one who really needs it. They need the Transcendence more so than the Valkyrie. Alpha Yi, 3 HP, taken down. Revenge finds the shot. Fedora still just going to be spamming away from the side. Nearly has that Dragon Strike ready to go. Ion and Alpha Yi go down. Daydream, who do you even want to res? Turns out it's going to be nobody because Bazzi takes his head off. And this should just be the very fast and merciful push coming through from the side of 7 to close out this series.
If they were running a dive comp, the McCree in that position would do a lot for them. But 7 never walk towards it. They never give Edison any room. Alpha Yi just tags the point. That's going to be the game over here.
Mercy dashing in, trying to stay alive. Daydream up into the air, trying to be a nuisance. A little mosquito flying around, but 7, they have the swatter in their hands. They just haven't been able to land the hit yet. Adora's going to be looking for Transcendence in for revenge, just mostly for funsies. Sonic Arrow taking out Daydream, and now Alpha Yi going to fall. A lot of the delayed tools going to be eliminated. Edison comes in from the side, the Deadeye managing to take down Mika as they try to hold this one off, but yeah, 2 minutes 19 still on the clock. They push it home, and 7 will take this series. A 3-1 victory. Kings Row going to be the only thing, the only blemish, I guess, on the record of this series?
I think that the first 3 maps were played very well overall by GC Busan Wave. I think the identity of this team, though, screams we're a squad of high potential rookies, but we gotta iron out the wrinkles. We have to essentially hone our skills and our strategies. The strategic depth is not really there yet. We saw them try to copy a strategy that was literally shown for the first time this morning. We saw them running the strategy they found a lot of success with against MVP Space, but they showed it so many times. Seven is watching your VODs. They are preparing for this. You show it again on attack on Hanamura, then when you use it again one more time, even though I don't disagree that it was the correct choice, they get countered, their enemies bring the right composition, they shut them down, and then it seems like the morale drops to 0 very quickly towards the end of Hanamura. And then that Junkertown map was, I mean, it was just simply, it was bad. You know, we saw the defensive McCree, which I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt because it's Edison, but I thought we maybe learned something, but we didn't. We just confirmed what we already knew, that it was not the correct composition to run. They played so far back against full timing, obviously, just to get A. I think GC Busan Wave is going to have to go back to the drawing board a little bit here, because what got them here and what won them their first series is not going to be something they can sort of one-trick rely on here. They need a little bit more depth in the squad, but they still look to be mechanically gifted, and when they're not kind of on death row morale-wise, they feel like they're just waiting for their death to come. I think this team does have a lot of potential. Kind of reminiscent of where Blossom was at, I think, a lot last season.
It's a rough start. I mean, it's only the second series here for GC Busan Wave, but with that win, 7, I mean, you know, in your and I's minds, basically going to be locking down the 3rd place spot in this group unless they can pull off a big upset against the likes of O2 Ardient and hope that Element Mystic can slip up a little bit in their upcoming series. But given the other competition, seems like they're certainly going to have that top 3 spot pretty much on lockdown, because GC Busan was able to take down MVP Space, so clearly they have a lot to work on.
Yeah.
Foxes look like maybe the worst team that we have in the tournament, so I don't think there's going to be that many other concerns for this squad.
Yeah, it's funny because this group was supposed to be the one that was tough to predict, but it ends up being, after about a week and a half of matches, like the most clean cut compared to the group of death.
It's like 1st place and 4th place are pretty confusing. We know that Foxes are probably going to have to go back through trials.
Yeah.
The other team that has to make it, it's either going to be MVP or GC Busan Wave in our heads. And
I mean, we're still in early days, but based on what we've seen so far, you can kind of make a tier list, right? And once you make the tier list, things start to fall into place. So upsets can happen.
Yeah, these teams are on trajectories right now. We're just kind of trying to peg where they're going to end up. It could change. We thought that 7 was going to go much higher. We thought 7 was going to be able to take down O2 Ardient last season, but O2, you know, they made it all the way to the finish.